I was so nervous and reluctant ahead of the toddler bed transition because suddenly my 3-year-old would start having the option of wandering around her room at night. And this really was what I was most afraid of. Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome to Little Nutshells, a YouTube channel for new mamas exploring all things baby and toddler. We ended up having a really smooth, positive experience because we did a lot of preparation beforehand. So I want to share with you today a lot of the tips that made our transitions really smooth and really successful. So if you are feeling nervous or anxious about the transition ahead, know that you're not alone and there are some things you can do to make it a little smoother. So I hope you find something useful here. Start by defining your goal and your strategy. A successful transition will mean different things to different parents. So I encourage you not to feel pressured to do things in the same way as someone else or necessarily what you see online or even what we've tried. It really depends on your own family values and your culture and your circumstance and what is going to work best for you. What is your child's preferences? What signs are they showing in terms of their sleep? Look at all of that. Look at what's important to you as a family and based on that, design your strategy. For my husband and I, we define success as our child transitioning to their toddler bed, sleeping all through the night without disruption for anyone in the family and not getting up till 7 a.m. That for us was something to work towards and something that we wanted to accomplish, which has been basically the reality. I'm really happy that it's worked for us, but what is going to work for you will very much depend on your circumstance. For example, where you are on the potty training journey and if you have another newborn in the house. That's a whole other kettle of fish. So follow your gut and follow your instincts. Some families like to move straight from a crib to a single bed. And this often works for families where the children have been co-sleeping with the parents for a long time and they're really used to being in a big bed. But for us, we opted to go from crib to toddler bed conversion to a single bed. The reason being that our daughter absolutely loved her crib. She was already sleeping soundly through the night and feeling safe and happy in there. So we simply one day, when she was ready, just took the side off and made a celebration of that, and then suddenly she was in her toddler bed. But before doing that, there were some things that we did to ensure that she was set up correctly. Which brings me to my next point. Get the space ready. Make the bedroom a safe sanctuary. Once the side of that crib comes down, your child is able to walk around at any time. So you want to make the space A, independent for them, and B, safe. So when it comes to independence, firstly, we got her a little plastic lamp. And 1 month before we did the toddler bed conversion, we trained her on that lamp because it was this exciting new object in the room and I knew it might cause a little bit of sleep disruption. So I ensured that she was very comfortable with this lamp and that it was no longer flashy and exciting by the time we made the change, so that by the time she woke up in her toddler bed, she could switch on her lamp by herself. The other thing that we have done really from the start is ensuring that the children's clothes are accessible to them so they can dress themselves, access all their clothes, and the whole idea behind this is having them independent and self-sufficient in their bedroom. Things that you can do to make the room safe, including anchoring your furniture to the wall, having furniture with soft edges, putting window stops on the windows, putting key locks on doors, and if necessary, having baby gates at their bedroom or at the stairs just to keep them safe in case they are roaming around. So what if you have a child who is a climber and climbing out of their crib as soon as they can walk? Phew! It's not easy, mama. My best suggestion is baby-proof the hell out of that room. Basically make it like soft play as well as all the suggestions I mentioned earlier and put them in a floor bed. And if they roll out at night, it's just a small drop, but it is a tough one, I have to say. It is really, really hard. You just have to prepare the room as best you can, put a baby gate on the door, and, see how it goes. Wait till they show signs of readiness before making these transitions. Don't be in a hurry. When I was obsessing over when to transition my child, which I started thinking about this from when she was about 2.5 and I was pregnant with my next child, I had a friend say to me, leave it as long as humanly possible. And it was actually the best advice. I took the pressure off myself. She was happy, she was sleeping well. If it's not broke, don't fix it when it comes to sleep. So that was kind of the attitude I took until it got to the stage where she was really showing other signs beyond me just wanting to make this change. Experts do recommend that an ideal time to transition your child from a crib to a toddler bed is somewhere between 18 months and 3 years. And here are some of those signs that you can look out for to see if your child is showing signs of readiness. And hopefully this next suggestion can help you too. For us, the green light was the golden ticket. This was absolutely essential and needs to be done before the transition. It was an absolute game changer, and I highly recommend this strategy for anyone who has an early riser, or maybe a child who comes out of the room quite often and into your own room. My daughter is an early riser. She's a real morning person. For a long time, that meant 5:30. Oh my goodness. Eventually it did become 6 o'clock, but that is still too early for us. Now remember, we were aiming for 7. So what we were doing is using the green light as the celebration to say, this is the morning now, you can wake up and you can get up. Every single time she woke up, I would manually use my app and switch on that green light and say, well done, it's morning time, you woke up with the green light. Every week we would just push it by 10 to 15 minutes. Eventually we went from 5:45 to 6, then 6 became 6:15, then 6:15 became 6:30, and now it's 7 o'clock. Find a way that it's going to work well with your child. Maybe it's a reward system. For us, just having the celebration in the morning was enough for Gia, and it was enough to motivate her, but find what's going to motivate your child, and hopefully this works really well for you too. Now, in the instance where she would regress in any way, we would just simply do the process over again. So this has been the foundational tool that has supported even this transition to the single bed, because again, it's exciting. She's in her single bed, she's waking up, she wants to get into the day and bounce out of bed. Having that green light has been really wonderful. But it only works if there is consistency. Consistency is key. It does have to be reinforced by all the grown-ups in the house consistently as a team to ensure that these boundaries and rules are also respected by the child. One of the other rules that we implemented that worked well for us was, and this might be a bit controversial, but it was no children in our bedroom without our permission. So we had to implement this rule because had our first child during the COVID years, we were all at home in an apartment, so we ended up with kids' stuff all through the house. And it just meant that us as parents, we just had no privacy. So when the second baby came and suddenly it was going to be more people, more stuff, I thought, no, we cannot continue like this. So let's make our bedroom a sanctuary, a beautiful place without any children's things, just for Sharad and I to hang out together. So that was really a helpful thing that we did before the conversion of crib to toddler bed, because our child then already knew our bedroom is out of bounds. And not once has she ever gotten up at night and come to our room or come into our room. If she needs us, she will call for us and we will go to her. We won't sleep in there, but we will comfort her and be there for her if she needs us. And I feel like we have spent thousands of hours on these kind of systems and tools and training when it comes to sleep, whether it be the sleep training we did when the girls were babies, all the way through to mindfully preparing them for these transitions so that we can all still get good sleep. And I have to say it has gone relatively well. We are all sleeping all through the night and we don't start our day till 7. And now that we've explored toddler bed transitions, you might also be interested in this little nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.